better there. So I found a list of what movies gross the most money per country on the weekend of May 5th. And your guess is likely going to be, oh yeah, clearly Endgame, right? And you are correct. Most countries on Earth, it was Endgame. There is one outlier, though, and that is the country of Japan, where Japan spent $5.2 million watching Detective Conan, The Fist of Blue Sapphire, the weekend of May 5th instead of Endgame.
Detective Conan.
I'm gonna Google it real quick.
Because you know what's gonna make there's gonna be a detective movie in like a month making a lot of money in Japan. Detective Pikachu.
True fact. That's the thing. I saw that and I was like, Detective? No, wait, that doesn't make sense. It's an anime. It is the 23rd movie in the Detective Conan franchise.
Oh. Very consistent then.
That's amazing. The 23rd movie in a series outgrossed Endgame in Japan.
Is that like the Japanese Endgame then? Because there's like 23 Marvel movies and now there's 23 Detective Conans.
It is. It is. I looked at it. It's actually, it says it's the final movie.
God.
Wow. Japan had their own Endgame and it's just an anime.
I bet it was wild.
That's a fantastic. King Cobb knows. King Cobb knows. Conan was an old anime, one of the early ones they had on Clem in America on Cartoon Network. So, yo, that's incredible. That is a fun fact. That is my funnest fact of the day. I'm happy I found it. All right. Anyways, EVT stuff is happening here. Reaper for Clem.
SCV Scout though. Thank you, Clem.
Yeah, thank goodness. So there was no pool first. There are no Lings heading across the map to try to knock down his command center. So the Reaper is safe to move out and do what it wants to do. There are some Lings. They're trying to chase down. Trying to help this drone expand. Where's the Reaper? The Reaper's come in and going to turn the tide on this battle a little bit. The SCV goes down. Oh, but he delays. He delays the expansion anyway. Hold on.
Oh, no.
Oh, the Reaper got greedy going after the Lings and actually let the base go down instead. Bummer.
Yeah, that could have been a nice delay for Clem.
King Cobb says, I don't mean to alarm you both, but I think Falcon's beard absorbed LaughNgamez's hair. Your theory has some merit. It's entirely possible. Drone into a spore crawler here in the main base. Reaper's got a Ling kill and could have delayed that third base for so much longer, but really just chose not to.
Clem wants that drone.
Ooh, Ling gets in the main base for scouting and does get killed, but does recognize the starport is done, sees the tech lab on the barracks, and says probably going to be Banshee. And Clem does not disabuse him of that notion. Swapping those add-ons.
Banshee it is. Couple of Hellions coming on in. Now, is there anything to deal with these if they make the dive? There's 3 Queens, but good positioning from Bly.
3 Queens is enough. Just stay on creep, though. Like, we don't want to get stuck out here in no man's land. So Queen here. Generally, you don't want to saturate the third base and safe against these Hellions.
Oh, look at this.
Actually canceling tumors. That's fantastic.
These guys are so good at this game, man.
Yeah. A lesser player would have definitely just lost those tumors, but I was like, no, you can cancel them and throw them down later. Save that energy for other stuff. More Hellions cruising out here for Clem. Banshee on the way. Another Banshee. 2 Banshees on the way with Cloak about 70% complete. So this is a little bit dangerous from Bly. Does he have detection at all? He's going for a Lair. Lair's almost done. He's going to have Overseers, which is nice.
Also going for a counterattack here as these Lings are running in. And 2 Hellions, though, in position for Clem. Should be able to clean this up with taking minimal damage, although those Lings getting a pretty decent surround on the Hellions. Throwing the basic Clem into a bit of chaos, but he's dealt with it rather nicely, actually. And now here comes in that Banshee. She's got Cloak. Hellbats are morphing, so Clem's going for a push right now.
Yeah, this is a really scary push. Hellbat Banshee is hard for Zerg for sure. He's fleeing back here. The Lings are going to be effectively useless against the Hellbats.
Yeah, the more time you buy, the better it does get for the Zerg player, though. And look at this, Roaches, Morlings on the way for Blythe. He's actually planning a Nidus behind this. He's got an Overseer since he got the lair for that Nidus, so he's actually fine dealing with the Banshee. Good Queen Micro, Lings around going down on the Hellbats. Looks like Blythe holds this off with no issue. And there's like 10 Roaches that are going to be out in a second here, and there's going to be a Nidus getting called on in.
Yeah, that was really, really well done by
Oh,
Bly.
look at this. Whoa, Clem. Already pulling the SCVs, preempting this. Really trying to shut down this Nidus. Transforms those Hellbats. Is he going to be able to shut it down? It's going to be close.
It's dead.
Oh, nice save there by Clem, but now another Nidus gets called on into the natural, and I don't think he's going to be able to stop this one.
Yeah, this one does not get seen or
SCV
reacted to
pull.
in time.
Way too late there.
And there's the unload. There's the Queen's transfusing the Nidus. It does stay alive long enough to keep everybody out of here. The Overseer is not actually here yet, so the Banshees are doing some serious work, but a lot of SCVs are dying.
Oh, man. All the SCVs
There's the
are
Overseer.
dying.
There's the Overseer. The natural base is done. Clem might just be out at this point. Too many Queens, too many Roaches inside his main base. Another Nidus does erupt. Where the heck was that one?
In his main base.
Well, that one's going to go down inside the main base. Third command center getting hit at too by these Queens. Queen Anti-Air is good, not quite good enough to kill a command center that quickly, and it will safely escape into the main base here, but it's a 3-basing Bly versus a 1-basing Clem. Nidus has continued to try to come up here inside the main base, but Clem is handling them pretty well. Oh, as I say that, it does end up coming up here. The Nidus worm!
There is enough Banshees, though, to shut down these Queens, and as a result, they will be able to clean up these Roaches, but these Roaches are going to start slaughtering SCVs as this is going on. Only 2 Banshees remain to clean up these Roaches, and that's going to cause Clem a world of trouble as his SCV count drops to 14. He drops a Mule, but right into the hot zone there, and Clem down to 3 workers. GG, Bly takes game number 1.
Yeah, there's your GG. He just held on. He held on versus that Hellbat Banshee attack. Did a really, really good job with it. The Queens lost minimal stuff there with a couple of Queens going down, maybe some Lings. And then the counterattack was absolutely brutal. So GG there for Bly. Knows what he's doing. King Cobb in chat says that Bly playing standard terrifies him. Does that qualify as standard these days?
I think it's a Nidus. It's pretty standard.
It is. 3-base Nidus Roach Queen we've seen more than once at the professional level, so I think it's fair to call it standard for sure. Alright, moving on into New Repugnancy, the ladder edition for game number 2 here.
Indeed, indeed. Just jumping right on into the next game. Bly and Clem going at it.
Why does Bly have a Master's portrait?
A Master's portrait? Like,
yeah, his portrait
Masters.
border is Masters League.
I guess he's not in Grandmaster. Maybe this is his tournament account or something.
Maybe. Yeah, it's got to be an alt of some kind, because there's no way he's not GM in the EU.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Pretty sure Bly is GM, seeing as how he kind of just bopped Clem.
Yes. King Cobb says this is as standard as Bly gets. That's it.
Very true. All right, here we are, spawning down the bottom left-hand side of the map, playing for Team Windigo. It is Bly.
Windigo! And in the top right-hand corner, Blue Terran player, Clem is, I want to say 16. Is he 16 lapping games?
He might be 17 now.
I'm going to look it up. According to Liquipedia, he is 17 years old as of April. Man, he was born in 2002.
Oh, no.
So old. I am so old. Oh, gosh. I graduated from high school in 2000, so he was not alive when I graduated from high school. Good grief. Let us contemplate our own mortality now.
Yeah, things got dark real quick.
Gonna go more sad than dark, but yeah.
A little bit. What's the term for it? Like, I don't know. Things got real.
Yeah, for sure. A little too real, maybe. SE comes out for the scout. Very nicely done, Clem. Reaper follow-up here. Expansion getting tossed down in the natural base, yada, yada, yada. We've seen all this a million times. Cobb says you need to spend a certain amount of bonus pool to get into GM regardless of MMR. What does that mean?
I guess it just depends whether you're active on an account. It's what, like 10, 20 games every week or something to stay in GM?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I just don't know what he's talking about with the bonus pool. Like spending bonus pool. I'm not sure what that... Clarify, please, King Cobb.
Yeah, bonus pool's not even really, bonus pool is not even, like, important anymore since it's just MMR. That's all everyone pays attention to on the ladder now.
Yeah. Well, and bonus pool has nothing to do with your ranking.
I think it actually
Right?
does.
What?
Yeah. Basically what it is that it's like, if you go inactive for a time on the ladder, you'll build up bonus points, and it's kind of like race points that it doesn't actually lower your ranking, I want to say, if you lose games, I think.
Oh, I thought bonus pool was just, we give you free bonus points over time.
No, it doesn't actually just give you points for free, it just gives you sort of more grace when you lose. Like, if you have a bonus pool and you lose a game, it'll... Oh! Lings. Delay in bases being harassed on both fronts. Third for Bly is not going to be a thing anytime soon.
No, this Reaper's doing a great job shutting it down. Okay, so King Cobb says if you have a certain pool, you can't be in GM. So yeah, you have to be active enough to where your bonus pool is very low. So, fair enough. Makes sense. You can't just get GM and sit there for the rest of the ladder season.
You cannot.
So, Bly does throw it on a third base over here, which some Hellions are trying literally forever to do that, though. They are attempting. They know the Lings don't want to engage with them off creep necessarily. There aren't a whole lot of them. And they chase the Reaper out, and the Reaper is gonna escape. I think there are some high ground areas you can hop up to.
Oh, he's going as quick as he can, but yeah, not gonna make it.
Nope.
Rip. And
Meanwhile, 4 Hellions trying to knock down the third base.
Oh, the Ling counter
Overlord.
could get some work done here as they're running into the natural. There's a Viking, but he's busy working away on that Overlord. This is going to kill off a fair few workers, I think, perhaps, or at least force the Hellions back.
Yeah, it's some lost mining time. A couple SCVs go down, but it's not a huge number. That was some good control by Clem. And then inside the main base, the Lings get cleaned up mostly with SCVs. And Overlords are getting destroyed here. No vision for you. No more Nidus, Mr. Bly.
Oh.
Says Clem.
Bly doesn't care about a Nidus, though. He's making roaches. No Nidus roaches?
Yeah.
Are these for safety?
I mean... Nidus?
No. It's got to be like a roach Ling flood or something like that, because he's got 20 Lings on the way behind this. He's hiding the roaches.
Well, a little bit. Yeah. So third base, Hellions trying to see is that saturated. It is not. Queen's shooing those guys away. Armor supply is 41 to 29 for Bly right now. And you're right, I think he's just going to go. He's going to go some Ravager Ling stuff.
Yeah, Clem knows about this, though, so he's just going to be panicking, trying to hold on. He's got Banshees on the way, and he's got Siege Tank on the way. Or a second Siege Tank coming out. So, dare I say, this is going to be a pretty good position for Clem, as a matter of fact. Bly's going through the aggression. He kind of just pulled the trigger on it. But this Banshee's going to put this rush on a timer. Good dodge from Clem, doing what he needs to do. And Bly, not going to make anything happen here, I don't think. Maybe he can get a few depots. He's going to want to try and get his Lings on in there, but the tanks are just so lethal. All the while, the Banshee just working away on these Ravagers.
Yeah, already has 4 kills. We'll give it 5 with another Raptor down. There's bunkers, there's tanks. This is ill-fated.
Oh, and Hellions get into the natural. Oh my god, 19 drones have gone down. That's game, man.
Yeah, 42 to 14 workers right now. That is just brutal to come back from. The Hellions all die inside Bly's base, but Clem got 2 tanks out, and there's your GG. Clem. Ties it up. Nicely done by the young Terran player. Fantastic display out of him. Yeah, I mean, it was just like you said, Bly just kind of pulled the trigger. He said, I'm going to go for a Ling Ravager attack. But it got scouted by the Hellions. Additional tanks were produced. Bunkers got thrown down. The Banshees played defense instead of offense. And I don't care who you are. And I don't know what Zerg player in that position could break that wall and actually win that game. That was a tough position to be in for Bly.
Yeah, no, making tanks and banshees is pretty good versus that kind of attack. Clem just got his wall up and he was fine. That attack was doomed to fail.
Yeah, unquestionably. So game number 3, again, tied up after 2, is going to be here on Kairos Junction.
Bly and Clem. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, Kairos Junction, top left-hand corner, the red Zerg player from Wendigo Gaming. It is Bly.
And in the bottom right-hand side of the map, playing for Infinity Gaming, it's Clem. Yeah, that was an odd attack.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have been fine if maybe the Banshee was on the other side of the map and there was only one tank. And maybe there weren't any bunkers. I don't know.
If all of Clem's stuff just disappeared.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was like Marines instead of a tank, and the Banshees were somewhere else, and there weren't any bunkers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just didn't scout it and wasn't perfectly ready for it at the time.
Clem was just the fact that he already had pretty much 2 tanks out before that rush even hit.
Yeah, that was brutal.
And that's why you can't necessarily just pull the trigger versus someone like Clem. You can try, and Bly tried, but didn't work.
Boy, no scouting at all here from Clem. SCV now moving out.
King Cobb in chat saying he didn't have an overlord for high ground anyways. He was doomed. Yeah. That's also a very good point. And he only had like 4 Ravagers. Bly was like, I'm going to make a couple of Roaches. I'm going to make a lot of Lings. And I'm going to go for it. SCV scout for Clem once more.
Yep, very intelligently getting on here, seeing the time hatchery, recognize, okay, pool is just about done. There are some Lings on the way, but my command center should be safe to finish, no problem. Reaper, you have a green light to move out across the map here and see what you can see and kill what you can kill.
Third base on the way for Bly. Reaper coming on in, poking away on these Lings.
Yeah, pretty good control here from Bly. Did lose a single Zergling, but there's the Queen, and that's pretty standard for the damage done by a Reaper these days in ZVT. 1 Ling kill is about as much as you can. More than that is actually pretty impressive.
Oh, this Reaper is playing with fire, though.
Yeah, 6 HP, low number, checks the third base, does not delay it forever and ever like he did in the last game. So, unfortunately, Reaper doesn't quite do as much as he wanted to.
Bly.
Roach Warren.
We are watching a Bly series.
We are. 3-minute Roach Warren. Holy smokes.
Hey, he's like, you know, that rush I went for in the last game where I tried to kill you didn't work. I'm going to try doing it a little bit earlier. There is going to be a Banshee on the way for Clem, though. Or a Viking for starters. Okay, so no super quick Banshee. Tech Lab getting set up on that tank, but Roachworn is done. Do we see a big swell of Roaches? Yes.
I can't imagine. There we go. 7. I don't know why the Roachworn would be done if not.
It's a valid
Let's have the Roachworn
point.
just in case. We'll make them in 2 or 3 minutes, I guess. So pretty similar to the last game, I'd say. Roaches on the way. Got Cloak Banshees in production here too. Third base not being saturated by Bly. The problem is that Clem's a little bit more in the dark about this one. Doesn't have aliens out on the map. He doesn't have to detect anything out there scouting at all. He's playing defensively with these Hellions, which is weird. Maybe he smells it. Maybe he's like, there's an attack coming, I gotta be home. But then he moves out, so maybe not. Oh, he was just defending against Ling run-bys, is what he was.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was doing. just
Yeah.
because Bly had gone for that in the past games. And now roaches are rolling on up. It's about 8 roaches. Bly's gone back into droning behind this. But these guys could be getting some damage done. Marines in the wall, they're going to be in a world of trouble. Siege tank gets set up, though.
Man, one tank can do so much against roaches here. Hellions at the third base doing some work.
Man. Yeah, drone's getting roasted up.
But enough queens there to shoo them away. And there's your Banshee. And now the roach attack. Queen Banshee.
Oh, look at all... that tank shot. Oh, my God.
Yeah, tank's got 5 kills. It's pretty effective. Employee of the month, probably. There is that add-on. Isn't it an add-on? There's something that, like, tracks your unit that got the most kills in a game. Have you seen that before?
Yeah, SC2 replay stats does that if you upload your replays there.
Yeah.
And that's actually a very good site, handy for getting games to cast and everything.
For sure. And a lot of good analysis out there, too. So Viking does take down an Overlord there inside Bly's base. And Clem deciding, all right, I killed about 10 roaches. Let's go. Got Marines, got tanks, bringing SCVs for the repair. We should see this, honestly, more with Terran players. Bringing SCVs along to repair tanks is really good stuff.
Yeah, it's always
another Overlord down here. Oh, Bly got supply blocked with that kill, so he's in trouble.
Yeah, it's always a little bit risky versus Zerg to commit at this stage in the game, but you were right. Bly has absolutely nothing. He's supply blocked. He's making 3 roaches for now. He's going to be able to make a lot more roaches when he gets unsupply blocked, but for now his base is in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, this is not looking good for the Zerg friend. Banshees are doing work against these roaches. The queen's not a problem, really. If the roach count is down and it's only Queen Ling versus tank setup. Oh, bunker's getting thrown up too, which is insane. He's got to kill these tumors. Where's your scan, Bly? Push this creep back. Build these bunkers a little bit closer. But here we go. 10 more roaches in production. Are they going to get here in time to save that hatchery? Corrosive Biles hit. Transfuses on the hatchery, keeping it alive.
Can he keep it alive any longer, though? He's got a few Ravagers. He's got his Queens. He doesn't have any more Transfuse, though, so this life this hatchery has, that's it. We see Clem, he's pushing on in. He wants that hatchery so bad, and he's got 3 tanks and a bunker and bunkers to fall back on here, so while Bly, he's bought himself some time, he still hasn't dealt with this yet.
Yeah, the tanks just move up a little bit. They're in range of that hatchery, and I think that's it, but unsieging is pretty scary here too, so this is a really tight situation, and the hatch does go down. Broodlings come in, killing absolutely nothing, and Bly pulling back. He's like, fine, I'm on 2 bases versus a 3-basing Terran now as Clem lands his 3rd base down home. Bly is retaking his 3rd base, but it's just slowing him down so much right now.
Yeah, that really hurts, but I guess it's better than just trying to commit onto that and dying in the process. Factory follow-up for Clem. Going to be going for this sort of modern mech style. Lots of Cyclones, Hellions on the way off the back of his sort of on-par economy, or even better economy than Bly's. That's really going to help him out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at this point, losing that 3rd base, it doesn't lose you the game immediately, but it hurts so much as Zerg. How do you come back from that? The good news is he didn't lose that many drones. Only 4 drones have gone down. He's sitting at 59 workers, which is great. Clem's at 60. It's fairly even across the board, but that 3-base to 3-base count, I just can't shake it. Bly trying to get some stuff done with some Lings, but no, tanks are here. Hellions are here. Cyclones are here. Definitely mech styling it from Clem. And as a result, Lings are going to be pretty much ineffective in the situation. Bly is getting an infestation pit,
Raven.
probably for
Gotta
Vipers. Spores? Oof. Down to 28 HP.
So Bly, he's starting up his 4th base, so he's getting things back on track here. He does have his 1-1 upgrades done, which is a nice touch here. It's going to help those roaches be a little bit more tanky, deal a little bit more damage. Double Armory is just on the way for Clem, so he will be behind on upgrades for a time. However, these Cyclones, they don't really care too much about the upgrades just because they put out so much damage.
Yeah, his Roach is not going to do as well here. Okay, maybe, but they just have lower health pools overall. Bly is double expanding down the left side to try to catch up here.
I like it.
If you can get away with it.
Oh, and here he goes, actually getting on top of these Cyclones and Hellions. That's a bit of a misstep for Clem, gonna cost him a fair few units.
Oh gosh, mountains.
This hatchery taking a little bit of fire, these Banshees roll on up, just popping off those drones one after the other there. A lot of overseers for Bly, but...
Whew. 9 kills and 12 kills on those Banshees. They have been putting in work today. Pretty low on HP, but that's okay. They got kills. They're going for that Employee of the Month award over that tank. Army supply. Clem is doing fine, man. He's at 90 supply right now. So many Cyclones, so many Hellions. His macro...
Ravagers, they are going to take some losses as a nice lock-on goes down for Clem. Picks off a few units.
The good news is that Bly took those 2 expansions along the left side, and Clem doesn't know they exist.
That is true.
He does not have vision on that. He might assume there's 1 base, or I don't know, maybe 2, but he's not heading that way. He's not scanning. And Bly's been given a chance to catch back up here. He is 5 base in it effectively now.
Yeah, and
versus
he's also
Clem's
got
3 base
too.
Yep. Fungal pretty great here. Nice wall of supply depots protecting that 3rd from run-bys. That is fantastic play. If you have to Baneling Bust to get just to the base, that is just so hard for Zerg. It just feels like a waste of resources.
Banshee's still hanging out, but now they're heading on in towards that base. The Queen just wants to pick them off, but good reaction from Clem, keeping those units alive. And now we're seeing the Blue Terran move out once again. He's got his Raven, he's got his Hellions and Cyclones, going to be looking to push the creep back maybe a little bit. Meanwhile, a Ling counterattack, though, getting on in towards this 4th base that was getting established. That's going to pull Clem back. And look at this. That early damage that Bly took, it's pretty much been nullified at this point. He's got away with his 5 bases, even if he's not really mining at all of them. He's built up a good chunk of supply, and he's getting up a greater spire, so Broodlords are going to be on the cards for him pretty soon.
Yeah, it can be pretty good here. Cyclone's not bad against Broodlord. You have something to buffer. Oh.
Yeah, fungal growth goes down. Baneling's even in the mix here. They're going to connect with some of the Cyclones. More fungal being tossed down. Bly engaging off creep now, but he's actually trading out pretty decent versus this composition, I'd say.
Yeah, both players licking their wounds there, taking some losses in that situation. Army supply definitely favoring Bly at this point. He is just making 34 lings at a time, getting those upgrades. Clem is trying to lock on, but lock on kite is harder to do when you're fungled. And a couple more Cyclones go down. Good news for Clem. That 4th base is well established now, making a 5th command center too. Bly's Greater Spire is just about done. He is saving money for those Broodlords.
Oh, man,
never mind, he just made 11 Infestors.
Oh my gosh. Where do you get all that gas from? I guess he's been banking it.
Yeah, he's been... I was going to say he's been on 5 base, but his 5th base doesn't have any extractors.
Look at that.
Nor a Queen, nor anything. I don't know what he's been using this thing for at all, honestly.
Bly's going hard on the Infestors. He doesn't have pathogen glands, so it's going to take him a while to build up that energy. And he is going to be losing this base that you just said he hasn't been using. Still, he's going to have Infestors. He's going to have Broodlord tech. And look at this. He's getting... his attack upgrade's going down. He's getting Adrenal Glands. He's a very happy Zerg right now. And oh, he even catches these Cyclones.
Yeah, free Cyclones there. Blue Flame Hellions doing some stuff up here at the 3rd base. Roasting up a good number of drones. 18 drones now gone down. Blue finally picked out and destroyed there. But Bly's down to 65 workers after that attack. Not happy about it at all. Losing a hatchery in the meantime, too. Clem seems pretty solid. Pretty solid ground here. Bly's taking a 6th base at the 12 o'clock position. It's going to be a Ling, Baneling, Ravager, and Fester play. Corruptor's now on the way. I think we are going to see Broodlords, but maybe not for a bit, as Bly does not have the supply to make many Broodlords.
Yeah, still there's so many Infestors here. He's got that Neural, too. We'll see. Is Bly just going to go for an attack? Because we look at the unit composition for Clem, it's not really anti-Broodlord Infestor. He's got 4 tanks, 4 Liberators, and then just a handful of Cyclones. Well, he's got a pretty decent number, but Cyclones are not necessarily the answer versus Broodlords.
No, they are not. 7 Broodlords now on the way. Bly sacrificing Ling to make that happen. Upgrades here. We have... Is there anything? the Broodlings are going to have upgrades, but there is no flyer attack or anything yet. +1 flyer attack now just getting started for the Broodlords. More Lings running in, kind of focusing down these tanks more than anything else.
Nicely done.
Almost getting a second one there.
Yeah, just trading out. More Corruptors on the way here for Bly. The concern right now, though, is Clem. He's got up 5, 6 bases, but he hasn't been producing much that's anti-Broodlord. Maybe not thinking about it, but he's going to have to deal with them pretty darn soon. He's got Liberators, yes, but Broodlords, they require just a very physical response. Like, you need to have the right amount of units. You need to have the right composition, and the composition that Clem has right now, he's got the Cyclones, yes, and the Liberators can buy time right now, but the Broodlords can just roll forward right now. There's no Thors, there's no Vikings or anything like that. A couple of Broodlords are getting caught. A very nice move and a bit of a misstep from Bly. But look at all these Infestors that he has. Oh man, even Knurling units. Oh, tossing down Infested Terran. This is looking pretty good for Bly right now as he pushes on in towards Clem's base.
Yeah, the Liberator's getting cleared out. There are still 3 of them here. Infested Terran's fighting directly with the army. Doing better than you'd expect there. They do benefit from upgrades, which is really, really nice. But yeah, still just making Liberators right now. Clem is not interested in making Vikings or even Thors here. But unfortunately, I think Thors are the wrong answer just because Infestors are here and Neuroparasite is a problem versus them. Any big ticket Terran item is going to be susceptible to getting mind controlled. So pushing on in a little bit with the Brood Lords, recognizing, all right, we're going to pick off a few units here and there. Clem defending very well.
Look at that, grabs the Liberator. Grabs it again.
I don't know if this is effective use of energy.
I think Bly's just having fun at this point, man.
He is, but I don't know if he should be. Clem is fine. He hasn't lost a base. He's maxed out.
Yeah, I mean...
He's making another command center. I don't know. In no way do I feel like Bly has this game, is what I'm saying.
I think he's in a pretty good spot. Like, what Clem is making right now is just not what he needs.
He is quadruple pumping Liberators, LaughNgamez. That's insane.
It is, but... Yeah.
I mean, Bly moving back.
Oh, that Ravager, you gotta give it to him for trying.
Take your shot, man. Oh, attack into the natural base. Lings and Roaches trying to get in here, but there are Liberators defending.
Yeah,
a lot of Roaches
trade
go
out
down,
some
but
supply,
a bunch make it into the main here. Liberator is actually using defender mode in a defensive position.
Look at this, though. Corruptors are now out. They're going to help challenge those Liberators. The Broodlords can push forward the Infestors. This is just a really good composition for Bly. And Clem's base is now being pushed on. There's so many Broodlords that I don't think they really have to worry about the Cyclones. Yeah, the Cyclones are just going down so quickly that these Broods, they're uncontested here.
Yep, this base looks like it is toast right now. There is just Zerg everywhere on the map at the moment. But especially up here on this right side base, Clem is making a single Viking.
Single Viking and a single Thor.
Yeah, it's weird. It really does seem like Clem doesn't know what to do against these Broodlords when there are some really good options.
Yeah,
Clem
like,
trying...
he's kept his economy going and he's expanding, but he's just kind of not dealing with the elephant in the room, right? Which is these Broodlords, which are just punishing him right now.
Yeah, and the Corruptors do so well versus Liberators. All of those Liberators effectively.
Yeah,
and
GG.
that's it.
Okay.
GG. Bly takes the 2-1 lead. Yep. Takes the 2-1 lead just on the back of those Broodlords. I don't know that he lost more than 1 or 2 of them that entire game, which is kind of insane, but we've definitely seen things like Thors and Vikings and Ghosts, even with their steady targeting, have a pretty good time against those Broodlords. But Liberators, no, not going to be your answer there. Cyclones, no. Not without something else buffering there. And in the end, not quite able to pull it off. And Bly takes the 2-1 lead here. He needs one more win to make it to the final to challenge Hearthstone in our final series today. And yeah, as Tukicha mentioned, he was Clem was out of gas in that last game. He was down to like 100, 200 gas in his bank. So rough place to be.
All right, here we are, spawning down the bottom right-hand side of the map. Playing for Team Wendigo, it is Bly.
And spotting in the top left-hand corner, it is the blue Terran player, Clem.
Alright, Clem proxying.
So maybe he's going to win? He has won every game he's proxied today.
Okay, here we go. The good old 2 racks. Ever trusty.
And there it is. Second racks going down.
Oh, look at this. Early spawning pool coming out of Bly.
That helps so much against this proxy situation.
He just
yeah,
knows.
it can. He feels it. Like, all right, Clem.
And yeah, this is about, I think, the best build that you can pretty much do is Bly to counter this. It's not like it's going into a crazy situation in which Bly is 12 pooling or making like super early aggression. Nope, this is just exactly what you need to deal with something like 2 racks play. Bly scouting it would be very nice for him before he sends his Lings across the map, but still, Lings are being produced at the same time as these Marines. A Queen's already on the way, and this is looking very, very good for Bly.
Yeah, it's fantastic. The Lings are out. They're heading across the map. Thing is, if they're...
Look at this. They're going to run right past those Marines.
Oh, gosh.
Oh no. The surround
Marine
Clem.
down. Marine down. There's no saving this guy. He's kiting as best he can. The stutter step is real right now, but he's too. This proxy really counts on the Marine count getting up.
Yeah, and it was just cut down right out the gate.
Yeah. I mean, if they're only dealing with 1 or 2 Marines at a time, you're in a great position if you're the Zerg. Making additional Lings here.
No.
Yeah, I mean, Clem has 2 Marines on the field, a third one, no SCVs to buffer at all.
Clem's making a Reaper.
Alright, seems fine.
I guess, right? Like, I don't know. Try and play normal from here on out. He's sending his Marines back across the map. He's got a factory on the way at home. He's making 2 Reapers. What?
I mean, sure.
You're pretty dead, right? So you may as well give it a go. A Marine finds an Overlord. That is always a nice pick-off. If he can get it, but these Lings for Bly might have something to say about that. And yes, they do. This Marine not going to be able to get that pick-off.
He wants to so bad, but the Lings are defending their papa.
Okay,
otherwise.
so there's now 2 Reapers out for Clem.
Okay, but there's Queens, there's a Spine. I mean, eh. I don't know. I mean, I've seen games before, you've seen games before, where a proxy gets absolutely shut down and the Terran wins anyway, right?
Yeah. But
I feel like I've seen
these
Special
Reapers
do this to Scarlet before.
Rip.
Yeah, maybe losing those doesn't help you in that goal, though. Third base going down for Bly, and Clem is still technically on 1 base, just now starting a third command center. Never mind, that second command center is done. But can he hold it is the question. He's got a good number of, I don't know, 3 Marines, 2 Hellions up here. The Lings come in, and yeah, there's not enough Zergling to really shut this down. So Clem seems to have stabilized, if nothing else.
Yeah, Clem has stabilized. He's gone for the fast third command center follow-up.
King Comp says, Maru's capable of it. I'm not convinced that Clem is. And it's a fair point. It was Maru. It was Maru who went proxy against Scarlet. Got it completely shut down and won a couple games doing that anyway.
Yeah, but
that was
Maru.
It's Maru. Maru is not really Terran. Maru is Maru.
He's literally the 4th race in the game.
Correct. Except when he's not, which is weird. Anyway.
It's not literally the 4th race of the game.
Yeah, some Hellions get into the 3rd base here, roast up a couple
okay.
drones. So, I mean, I don't know, Clem's starting to come back, but there is some Link harass inside Clem's natural base, getting shut down by Marines fairly ably.
Yeah. Clem's just not in a great spot. He's not in a terrible one, because he's got this 3rd base, but Bly does have a lot of time to do what he wants. Liberator getting some harassment done. Nice, nice. Getting 5 drones.
Okay, alright. Little baby steps here for Clem. He's not winning it all in one go, but killing a couple drones here, forcing a pull off there. Not too shabby.
Stim on the way here for Clem. So he is going to be getting up into his bioplay. The thing is, it is taking time, though. Bly is having a lot of time in order to get ready for something like this coming his way. So he's got his lair, he's got his evos on the way. And it's still going to be a while before Clem really moves out here, although, I mean, Clem is up on supply.
Yeah, I mean, Bly can deny this expansion. Oh, never mind. He's going to suicide his Lings into nothing. Expansion does go down there. Liberator with 4 kills is trying to harass Overlords up here in the top right. Takes a lot of kills on a Liberator to kill an Overlord.
It does.
And it's not a very fast fire rate either, so problematic.
And the old Liberator AA, that was something.
The old Liberator?
Yeah, remember how when it just did like base 14 damage or whatever versus anything?
Oh yeah, that was insane.
It wasn't just versus the plus light.
Right,
then
right.
it got nerfed and nerfed again. Man, that was a fun week before they did that, though. It's like, yeah, I can kill Tempest with Liberators.
Just because I want to. All right, Clem's here. He's looking okay. He's got a big army supply compared to Clem's. Clem, or rather Bly, has been droning up quite a bit.
This is a powerful push, though, coming out of Clem. I mean, he's got Stimmed Marines, which put out a lot of damage. Bly, though, has invested in a lot of Lings. He's going to now step forward as Queens. Got a lot of health, enough to buffer for this and push his opponent back.
Oh, he's going to lose all of his tanks.
Ow was
that,
right.
Jeez.
Yeah, Bly had +1 armor there. That really helped him out.
So the tank count is down to 1 for Clem right now, which is not good. Yeah, for sure, though. Zerg players, if you're struggling with these little pushes, tanks get +1 armor. It helps. It's not as good as it used to be, but it's not bad.
Clem's a very good Terran player, so he can always try and drop his way back into a game. And I mean, he's not necessarily super behind by any means, but it is a Zerg player who's had so much time this game. I'd love to see Bly really get back on spreading this creep, since he has pushed Clem back. He has survived the first wave of attack. Come on, Bly. Get spreading that creep. There we go.
"26 Lings on the way from Bly. He's getting a Spire, Infestation Pit, 10 Banelings here, too. He's going to try to Baneling bust one of these bases and just kind of shut it down once and for all. Oh, Lings got into the 3rd base. The wall is not a wall.
It's a lie,
no.
not a wall.
Oh, no. All right. Well, that's 10 more SCVs going down. 3rd base is not as healthy as otherwise was here. The Lings do get cleaned up thanks to the entire army showing up for it, but this wall that is not a wall, still not a wall because the supply depot is down.
Yeah, 10 SCVs for a handful of Lings. Bly's starting to research Burrow just to be a pain here, just to maybe get some nice hits. He's what? Bly? Oh my God! Bly just rolled his Banes in there and just killed off a good chunk of bile. Clem wasn't ready for that. He didn't expect.
No less.
Clem did not expect that. Who would expect a Zerg to turn around and just roll his Banelings off creep?
It's a good question.
You know you're playing versus Bly when Clem, he's now going for this push. He's got a lot of tanks. He's doing a good job using the cliffs, and he's scanning to clean up this creep. But he did lose a lot of his buffer for this for these tanks.
+2 ground carapace is now just done.
Oh man, and +2 melee on the way as well. So this is just going to be Bly really has the makings for a good hold right now.
He really does. If Clem extends onto the creep too far, that's a surround and that's a death. The tank count is not nearly high enough to be super terrifying. Lings wrapping around the left side. Actually counterattacking. They're
Oh,
not
this is going to be a
around at all.
doozy counterattack. Maybe not. Does Clem raise the depot? No, he doesn't. Okay, not paying attention.
Okay.
Oh, this really hurts.
All right. All the reinforcing units up here are going to die. Two Lings are so dead scary. SCV is getting forced to run to the natural base where there are still Lings there too. This has the makings of a GG LaughNgamez. Tanks are trying to hold it by themselves. Lings running into the main base. Nowhere is safe. The entire army has to come back home. 26-30.
Oh my
SCVs
God.
have gone down. It is double the worker count now. The engagement in the middle of the map is getting wrecked by +2 Lings as well.
GG.
And that's your GG.
Why 3-1?
Much.